That's just the reality. Is if you are not in the top 10%, you are not even going to be considered.
One for a poli-sci Twitter. You know anything about poli-sci?
It's kind of like econ.
I don't know anything about politics. Okay, a friend got an academic job offer. They asked about the research budget and if they could have more time to make a decision. The answer, no budget, and we're moving your decision deadline up since you asked. What should they do? Okay, so so this isn't even a poli-sci question. This is just a job interview question. Like, if you asked for more time and they said, or if you asked for more resources and they said no, and you get the weekend to decide instead of the week to decide.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts here? Like, this is a really aggressive move.
Honestly, like, especially if you have technical skills, post about it, tag all the major think tanks and like tech companies, or like, for example, if your area is in like real estate research, like tag all like Zillow, Redfin, all those guys. Talk about it and then just get competing offers and then say screw it to academia.
But what if you like how? But
because the problem is like, so with my understanding, academic market. And by the way, this is someone who was told that I would never go to grad school because I had a 2.6
They mean
undergrad
business.
GPA. So, but the thing is, the academic job market's really tight for one thing because there's only so many like tenured or non-tenured positions in different departments, and like some people also have like geo restrictions, right? So the thing is, you don't have as much leverage in like the academic job market as you do like the private job market.
Right.
Just honestly. So part of it I think is dependent on like what are your other like opportunities that you can leverage.
Sure.
And whether or not you're prepared to stay in or go out of the academic market.
Academia in general is just so saturated, right? Like we see the numbers of like
Quit
PhDs
academia
graduated,
and make
it's, like, not even
270K.
close to the amount of like actual jobs that tenure track. That's like 30,000 STEM PhDs graduated for every 3,000 jobs available. Like that's insane, right?
Yeah. And the thing too, right, is that like, so I taught and mentored at like 2 data science boot camps, and you would be shocked at like the number of people who came through our boot camps who had multiple masters or PhDs, and like they still could not get a job in industry. And part of it was because they had focused so much on the research area, and the reality is that they were just not competitive enough in the research area. Because if you think about it, and it depends on like what you want to do with the poli-sci degree. It's like my experience is in like the data science machine learning area, right? Like if you want to go, for example, work for Google Brain, which is like the super brainiacs who all must have PhDs, a lot of those guys have like multiple NeurIPS papers, all this other stuff, right? It is very, very, very competitive. That's just the reality. Is if you are not in the top 10%, you are not even going to be considered.
Like, grant money is not coming to you. Like, just your clout in general isn't like established enough to get other types of money.
Exactly. But you know what? The private like job market, especially if you're good at talking to people and selling your value, like there is really not a cap there. So I think, it just really depends on how married you are to staying in like academia. Because if you think about it, like, so one reason why you might
so brand deals don't matter.
If you want to, for example, do research projects with, private companies, they might trust you more since you're in academia. You don't have like a competitor, like you're not working for a competitor necessarily, right? So they might feel more safe, like letting you do a fellowship with them, right? But on the other hand, like, so for example, as someone who does not have a master's or PhD, who had like a BA in a totally unrelated
How
field,
has
right?
Nick
like,
held you back in your work?
Like, my data science engineering skills at various points in time to contribute to research for academics. Because guess what? Like some of the things that they don't have is like skills like in engineering in industry. So
Commander is wondering, how have I held back your work?
you haven't. You've inspired me to greater heights.
Whoa!
Aspire for greatness, not mediocrity.
Get fucked, bro. Thank you, Mickey.